So welcome for the Workflows Community Summit, the 2022 edition. Thank you for connecting. We are very glad to see people around the world here, and the number, it keeps increasing. Last year we had 3 editions of the meeting, and this year, we have this only edition here that is online, but then we have some other meetings that we did in person. Before we start, just want to give you a little bit of an overview of what is the Workflows Community Initiative. I know that most of you are already part of it, and if you're not, please feel free to join. It's free to join. It's just a form. You can go into the website workflows.community and just fill up your information. So right now we have about 134 members up to this morning. That we have different kinds of activities that are conducting. The actual goal of this community, it's really volunteer based. It's really to be a community effort, and it's really to bring users, developers, researchers, and facilities operators into different modes that can help the community move forward. The idea with this Workflows community, of course, we have the website that we keep the main informations there, like information about some workflow systems, not all of them, just a few of them that are actively developed, and the developers made the effort to register them into the website, add some additional metadata to provide more information to the community and help the users, to understand what the system can do and what are the best ways to get documentation, to what are the new features, and so on. Also, we keep information now about technical reports. We talk about events. We have a list of open jobs opportunities that people are hiring, that it's completely related to workflows. That somehow is kind of hard to find. What are the opportunities that are open. So we try to keep this list as updated as possible. And we keep information about events, conferences, workshops that are related to workflows, where you can submit your papers, your research, and go to meet people and discuss. In addition to that, we also have a stories page that we started that about a few months ago, I think 3 or 4 months ago, that we do newsletters every month. So everybody that is a member, get an email with these stories that we try to not only promote what the community is doing about some specific project or some specific solution, but also, the people writing these stories, they always try to come up with a generic angle saying what the current state of the art on some of the aspects related to their solution. Of course, we are always looking for volunteers. So if you'd like to, engage somehow in the community, helping with the website, helping organize events, or any other capability that you think it could be interesting for the community, we are very open to new ideas and discussions. We also have a Slack channel that right now we have about 231 people that we keep, active discussions. It's you can have one-on-one discussions. You can create your own channels to have specific discussions. For example, some of the working groups that are supported by the community, have discussions there. And there is also the Workflows community overall channel that we try to put news related to the community. There is a new software release, there is a new event coming, there is a new report, or this kind of events that we are organizing here. Continue to talk a little bit why we are doing that, why we have this Workflows community. Well, there is a universe of workflow systems. And there is a list, there is the link below. Michael and colleagues are keeping, this wonderful list of workflow systems that have been developed. So I look at it this morning, and right now there are 324 workflow systems that have been ever developed. Not all of them are still, in production, but a lot has been done by the community. And we are trying to, organize a little bit these things and say how we can work together towards a common goal. At least that we agree what are the needs and the next steps. So I just put here a few sentences on the previous summits that we organized that caught my attention, that it's saying normally what happens is you try to force an application to fit a particular system because you develop your own workflow system. And then you're going to try to sell it and going to say, yeah, I can do an application, make it work with my workflow system. You can always make it work. If it's the best solution, we don't know. Might have a better system that would be perfect for that solution, but it's the way it is. Another thing that I still remember this sentence he said, workflow systems are so hard to use that you need to basically to ship a developer, with the workflow system. It's the only way that someone could come and really understand and try to know how to use these systems. And on one of the last summits, we had this discussion and say the term workflow is overloaded. So basically, what is a workflow today? It's everything and nothing at the same time. So somehow we need to have better discussions and understandings what we are talking about workflows. So based on that, last year we had these 3 different summits, and we end up creating these what we call the community roadmap. So based on the reports of the summits, we put together a paper that was published. It's available on archive. The idea was really have the community come up with ideas, identifying challenges, solutions, and what would be a kind of a roadmap that we could tackle, in the next year or so, or a few years. So if you look at the paper, I don't want to read everything that is on the table, but just highlight a few of the words saying, when we were talking about the challenges, we had 6 topics that we were mostly focusing last year. That were the fair computational workflows, AI workflows, exascale, APIs, reuse, interoperability, and standards, training and education, and how we build our workflows community. So a lot has been said, what are the challenges, like it's complex life cycle of workflows, we need to define metrics for fairness, go from heterogeneity, to how we handle dynamic workflows. On the exascale, we talk about the ill-fitted job abstraction, fault tolerance and fault recovery, of course, standards and training materials, education, and at the end we need to define what it means by a workflow community and work on translational gaps. So from that, with the community, we had some proposed activities that we might have accomplished or not. So that's why we are here today. To review these, some of these activities that was, for example, for the fair, would be how we could automate the fairness of the workflow. Can I do it automatically? Do we have rules for the fair workflows? On the AI workflows, people were at the time saying, yeah, we talk about AI workflows, but we really don't understand what an AI workflow is. We need maybe use cases. We need the benchmarks. Exascale was the same. We still need benchmarks to understand, or having these workflows requirements become part of the machine procurement process, and so on. Is still on the API, saying commonalities, what are the different commonalities, working on case studies, defining workflow patterns, how we gonna teach workflow into the curricular, are there solutions, what can be done. And on the workflows community was, we need to establish a common knowledge base for workflow technology. We need to establish a kind of organization to do this, to help, self-support these workflow developers and their systems. So based on these discussions, this was the roadmap that we came up at the time. That I would say, 3 main thrusts. There was a definition of common workflow patterns and benchmarks, identifying path towards interoperability of workflow systems, and improving workflow systems interface, with legacy emerging HPC software and hardware stacks. So we said, we need to do workflow pattern and benchmarks, enable, weak and strong scale experiments, establish a centralized repository to have these patterns and benchmarks. We talk about horizontal interoperability because there is a lot of solutions into the vertical interoperability. Again, benchmarks and use cases, establish a workflow systems developer community, with some machine readable description of the key properties on how you can programmatically find what this machine can do, or if it's available or not, and kind of APIs. Remote authentication, there is a big issue. Portability, registries, and community events. So I'm not going to go into the details of what has been done, what has not been done here. I can only talk for the community right now. So this is from where the Workflows Community Initiative came. So we are trying to do the community side. Myself with my with all the people that works, with me and collaborates with me. That a lot of you are here today, so thank you for joining. We have attempted to address some of these the things related here, and probably they're going to come up during the discussions and the breakout. Another thing that I wanted to highlight is, in addition to all the reports that we did for the community, there is also people in the community, pushing towards workflows and automation. So recently, the National Academies of Science, Engineering, and Medicine, they released a report that some of the members that worked this report are also part of this call today. So thank you for joining again. That is really talking about the needs of automated research workflows for accelerated discovery. It's a very, very nice report, very interesting points that mentions about the challenges, what can be done, what are potential solutions. A few things that I highlighted here that I found interesting. It's saying, that a workflow has built on experimentation or observation and analysis of the resulting data. And also saying, in addition to all the decades of to acquire, process, and analyze data, the same computing and automation technologies can now also control the acquisition of data. So I found quite interesting this new perspective of automated research with workflows. And I strongly recommend you to take a look at this report if you didn't see it yet. What is our charge today? So there are a few different goals. The first one is we're gonna review this 2021 roadmap, and the idea is we need to as possible as we can, as better we can remember, is say what are the challenges that we look at the past, and the activities that we proposed. Are the challenges still relevant? Did they change? If so, how? What are the new challenges? What is the thing that is not relevant anymore? As I know, the environment completely changed, the landscape changed, so it makes no sense to try to solve this challenge anymore. Which new solutions, have been developed to tackle the previous challenges? What we as the community what we have done in the past, and how we have organized ourselves, to address these issues. So the goal during the breakout sessions is really, try to review that, have this critical view into this previous roadmap, looking into what is the current state of the art, what we, as part of the community and others have developed, and what are the new challenges. And what we wanted to get out of that is basically an updated roadmap that we're going to do again. We're going to do a technical report from this event. So everybody that is that has joined and be contributing is invited to become a co-author in the technical report. And then we want to organize a little bit this technical report and do a community supported journal article that, again, we invite the whole community to become co-authors, and feel free if you wanted to join, put your perspectives. That the idea is to have this roadmap, but also a little bit of an analysis of the state of the art, more research article, perspective article than just a technical report of the event. So the activity we're doing today is a continuation of what Kyle was mentioning a few minutes ago, that about basically 2 weeks ago, exactly 2 weeks ago at SC, we had a workflows community buff that we brought some people from the community to start discussions talking about the current challenges, overview, and solutions. And then we start having some interactions and say, trying to understand this roadmap and what are the next challenges. So we got almost around 85 people attending the buff. That was pretty good. We got a very good feedback, and I have a lot of notes. And what we're going to do is cross these notes with the discussions we're going to have today and tomorrow to add everything into the technical report and then the journal article. What we are doing today and tomorrow, we have this welcome and overview of the community and, talking about the roadmap. We're going to have lightning talks. So we have 6 different topics we're going to discuss. 3 topics today. That is the specification, standards, and APIs, AI workflows, and high-performance data management and city workflows. I have 3 other topics. That is HPC and quantum workflows, fair workflows and workflows for continuous and cross-facility computing. So the idea is the session leaders, there are the names you see here, people that volunteered, and a big thanks for them for doing that. They're going to give the 10 minutes lightning talk about the perspectives on these different topics. And then, we're going to have breakout sessions. We try to do 1 hour 20, 1 hour and a half of discussions, and where you have almost complete freedom, to say what do you think about these topics, or what are the challenges, what are the next steps. And each session leader, they are organized in a different way, the way they wanted to do the sessions. So you are free to move, for different topics. I would ask if you could, try to balance would be best. But if not, try to get a topic that you really feel you wanted to contribute and be part of it. In addition to that, tomorrow we also have an invited talk from Professor Manish Parasha. So he'll be giving a talk about the translational perspective on end-to-end workflows. With that, I would like to thank you again for joining.